Two men retired with nearly identical incomes and savings. 5 years later, one was healthier, happier, and had far more money left. The difference was not created on cruises, golf trips, or perfect summer afternoons. It came from 6 small routines he repeated on ordinary Tuesdays. Most people imagine retirement as a collection of highlights: long lunches by the water, a road trip with no return date, a quiet morning with nowhere urgent to be. But retirement is mostly made of ordinary days: a gray Wednesday in January, no plans, no visitors, nothing waiting outside the front door. Just you, your home, and 12 hours that nobody else will organize. Meet Paul and Mike. Both retire at 68. Both own paid-off homes. Each has about $700,000 invested and receives roughly $3,000 a month from Social Security. Mike wants complete freedom. No alarm, no calendar, no obligations. Paul wants freedom too, but he gives each day 6 small anchors. Nothing extreme, no ice bath at sunrise, just 6 routines that protect his health, money, relationships, and sense of purpose. At first, Mike appears to be enjoying retirement more. 5 years later, he is still waiting for retirement to become interesting. Paul has built a life that still feels full when nothing special is happening. Paul walks every morning before breakfast. 30 minutes, same route, same old shoes. He does not wait to feel motivated. Motivation is unreliable before coffee. On 2 days each week, he adds simple strength exercises. Mike plans to exercise too. After breakfast, after the news, when his knee feels better, when the weather improves. By noon, Paul has already moved. Mike has already found 4 excellent reasons not to. That is why Paul goes early. He removes the negotiation. He knows something many retirees discover too late. Independence is rarely lost all at once. It disappears in small moments. The staircase you begin avoiding. The bag someone else starts carrying. The chair that suddenly takes more effort to leave. 30 minutes of walking 5 days a week already reaches the recommended weekly target for moderate movement. Add 2 short strength sessions and a little balance work, and the plan becomes surprisingly manageable. But Paul is not exercising to look younger. He is protecting the day when groceries still feel light, stairs still feel normal, and travel does not begin with searching for the nearest elevator. The real goal is not fitness. It is keeping ordinary life ordinary for as long as possible. Retirement does not automatically make you weak. Comfort simply makes weakness easier to practice. Paul's walk protects what his body can still do. His second routine protects what quietly disappears when nobody is paying attention, and finding it takes less time than making coffee. Each morning, Paul checks yesterday's transactions, not the stock market, not interest rate predictions, just yesterday's spending. He asks 2 questions. Do I recognize every charge? And did this spending improve my life? Most mornings, the answer is boring. Boring is good. Then he notices a streaming service he forgot to cancel, a restaurant charge entered twice, an insurance increase, a free trial that has quietly developed a career. Mike checks his accounts only when he feels worried. That means he looks when the market falls, but not when small charges begin multiplying. One forgotten $30 subscription barely feels worth noticing, but 10 small leaks cost $300 a month. That is $3,600 a year. Keep them for 10 years, and $36,000 disappears, and that is before counting a single dollar of lost investment growth. Most retirement accounts do not collapse from one dramatic purchase. They leak slowly while nobody is looking. But money is not the only thing that leaks away unnoticed. Time does too, and Paul's next routine stops an ordinary morning from disappearing before the day has even begun. By 10 in the morning, Paul finishes one useful thing: a loose cabinet door, a medical appointment, a small job in the yard. Nothing impressive, just something finished. Mike starts with television. 20 minutes becomes an hour. By lunch, the coffee is cold, the television is still talking, and Mike knows everything that went wrong in Washington. In his own life, nothing has moved. That is the trap. Entertainment does not steal an entire day at once. It takes 10 minutes, then 20, then the morning is gone. Work once gave both men a starting time, a problem to solve, and proof that something had been completed. Retirement removed all 3. Paul replaces them with one daily win. Mike waits for the day to create its own momentum. It rarely does. Paul creates before he consumes. Mike consumes until he no longer feels like creating. A day without work can feel free. A day without progress eventually feels empty. At first, the difference between Paul and Mike is almost invisible. One walk, one completed task, one phone call, nothing dramatic. But retirement rarely changes in one dramatic moment. It changes through hundreds of quiet afternoons. And the next routine is where Mike's world begins to shrink. Paul contacts one person every day. Sometimes it is a 5-minute call, sometimes coffee with a neighbor, sometimes a message to an old colleague. Mike assumes friendship will maintain itself. At first, it does. Then one friend moves. Another begins caring for his wife. Someone cancels lunch and never chooses another date. Nobody argues, nobody says goodbye. The phone simply rings less often. One afternoon alone feels harmless. Then Mike realizes an entire week has passed without one meaningful conversation. Paul never lets the silence grow that large. His calls create people who recognize his voice, notice when something sounds wrong, and ask where he has been. But the benefit goes both ways. Sometimes the person Paul calls was also sitting in a quiet house, waiting for someone else to make the first move. That is what Mike misses. Loneliness does not always begin because nobody cares. Sometimes it begins because everybody waits. Paul has protected his relationships, but staying connected is not enough if the world around him slowly becomes harder to navigate. And that happens more quietly than most retirees expect. Every afternoon, Paul learns for 20 minutes. Spanish before a trip. New banking security. A repair he has never attempted. Then he stops watching and tries it himself. Mike prefers to stay with what he already understands. That feels easier, until the bank changes its app. The doctor's office moves everything online. A travel booking requires 3 passwords and a verification code. The world does not suddenly lock Mike out. It becomes slightly more difficult each year. Paul prevents that retreat by remaining willing to look foolish for 20 minutes. Watching someone restore a truck is entertainment. Holding the wrench is learning. 20 minutes a day becomes more than 120 hours a year. Enough time to turn confusion into competence. Paul does not learn to feel younger. He learns so the modern world cannot slowly become a place he needs other people to enter for him. Aging may slow you down. Stopping learning hands over control. Paul can still manage his money, technology, and daily life. But one question remains. What pulls him out of bed when nobody is forcing him to get up? Each evening, Paul chooses one reason to get up tomorrow. Only one. Drive his grandson to practice, finish the shelf in the garage, meet a friend for breakfast, plan the next road trip. Mike wakes up and asks, "What should I do today?" Paul wakes up already knowing who or what is waiting for him. That difference is larger than it sounds. Mike protects his empty calendar because no obligations feel like freedom. At first they are. Then breakfast gets later. The television stays on longer. Small tasks move from today to tomorrow. Eventually, nothing feels urgent enough to begin. Paul does not fill every hour. He puts one thing on the horizon. A person expecting him. A project missing one final piece. A reservation already made. A promise someone is counting on him to keep. That small commitment creates anticipation, and anticipation creates movement before motivation is required. Purpose does not always arrive as a grand mission. Sometimes it is simply knowing where you need to be at 10 tomorrow morning. Mike wakes up searching for a reason to start the day. Paul wakes up because the day has already started without him. Paul and Mike are now 73, same income, same paid-off homes, completely different retirements. Paul moves without thinking about it. He catches financial leaks early. He stays useful, connected, and comfortable with change. Mike kept waiting for motivation, for someone to call, for something interesting to happen. Nothing dramatic destroyed his retirement. It simply became smaller, one quiet day at a time. Paul also spends less, not because he lives less, but because his life does not need constant purchases to feel complete. That difference looks small at 73. Over the next 10 years, it can become the difference between independence and dependence, and that is what these 6 routines were really protecting. Not productivity, not discipline, not a perfect schedule. Independence, the ability to manage your own money, move through your own home, Keep your own relationships alive, understand a changing world, and wake up knowing your life still needs you. Paul did not build a busier retirement. He built one that was harder to take away. Mike retired from work. Paul protected the right to keep living on his own terms. That was the real difference.